Thank you so much, Dean Ryan. Good morning.
Good morning.
Distinguished deans, trustees, faculty members, esteemed guests, and also my fellow graduates. It is with my profound gratitude and immense joy that I stand before you today as we embark on this momentous occasion of our doctoral graduation. On behalf of the entire graduating class, I want to extend a heartfelt appreciation to each and every person who has contributed to our remarkable journey. We gather here not only to celebrate our individual accomplishments, but to also recognize the collective support, unwavering guidance, and encouragement that have propelled us towards this pinnacle of academic achievement. Today, alongside our graduates, we honor the mentors, the faculty, the friends, and institutions that have shaped us, nurtured us, and instilled in us the relentless pursuit of knowledge. And with sincere gratitude, I want to start by saying thank you for your dedication, commitment, and the love that you have made this extraordinary milestone possible. Thank you. So, I have a confession to make. This speech was not an easy one to write for me. To be honest, I felt an immense amount of pressure to perform well and capture our time here at Brown in essentially 10 minutes or less. But how do you fully embody an experience like ours? What do I talk about? What do I focus on? Do I speak of the ebbs and the flows? Or do I keep it real? Instead of speaking of my own personal journey, how do I focus on us as a collective? Because today, there are a total of 246 stories to be told, not just mine. For those of us who have chosen to pursue doctoral degrees, we know that it is a complex and often indescribable journey. From the thrill of discovery to the frustration of the setbacks, from the highs of the collaboration to the isolation of the independent work. The Ph.D. experience is a roller coaster of emotions and experiences. And yet, when we try to put it into words, we often find ourselves at a loss. How can we convey the intensity of the intellectual and emotional labor that goes into research? How can we describe the moments of the breakthrough, the hours of staring at a blank page, the struggles with imposter syndrome, the exhilaration of presenting our work? And it's definitely worth mentioning that we actually lived and learned through an actual global pandemic. I could go on for hours, but the truth is we can't fully capture the PhD in words. I can't fully capture it in this speech. It is a journey that must be lived to understood. But given that, it doesn't mean that we should give up on trying to communicate its value and its significance. As graduates, you now have the opportunity to take what you've learned and share it with others. Whether it's through teaching, research, or simply sharing your insights and perspectives with those around you. You have the power to help others understand the importance of rigorous inquiry and intellectual curiosity. In the end, perhaps the best way to describe the PhD experience is a journey of self-discovery. Through your research, you have not only contributed to the collective knowledge of your field, but you have also learned more about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, and most importantly, your passions. However, I'm here to remind you that your efforts have not gone unnoticed. You are leaving a legacy that will have an impact for years to come. Your research, your discoveries, and your contributions will shape the world in ways that we cannot yet imagine. As you leave this chapter of your life behind, remember that you are not just receiving a degree, but you are also creating history. You are now the history. You are the pioneers who are pushing the boundaries of knowledge and paving the way for future generations. Brown University exemplifies its commitment to fostering knowledge in a spirit of free inquiry. The institution, and those who call it home, is shaped by a dedication to consistent academic excellence, by a community of faculty, students, staff, and alumni that share a common ethos. We all value things like discovery, diversity, creativity, collaboration, and also a very, very persistent drive. But all for what though? Well, all to make Brown a better place for those who come after us. But in the process, we permanently stake our position in a long line of phenomenal moments. For centuries, Brown University has been marked by monumental, historic milestones and discoveries that have forever changed disciplines. These milestones chronicle Brown University's journey and existence, whether it was positive or negative, as a community of learning, a place that cultivates leaders, and those who are not afraid to ask those arduous questions, or even stir the pot every now and then. From neuroscience to biomedical engineering to arts and the humanities, Brown researchers fuel discovery to solve complex problems with a relentless focus on the greater good. For nearly 255 years, since its existence and nearly 130 years of graduate education, Brown has made history in education and research, all while establishing a long list of firsts. Like in 1897, when Brown conferred its first doctoral degree to a woman, Martha Tarbell, in German studies, or in 1932 and 1962 with Samuel M. Britt and May Bell Williamson Simmons, the first African Americans to earn a Ph.D. from Brown. Brown's medical school became the first in the country whose graduates all have the training required to prescribe medications to treat opioid use disorder in any U.S. state. Or, in more recent news, Brown graduates and scientists described the microscopic structure of a recently discovered group of superconductors for the very first time. And now, with all of you sitting here today, Brown has done it once again. In May of 2023, where Brown continues to make history with the graduation of its next class of doctoral candidates. For our dissertations, we were required to submit original work, original research. So by definition, every PhD graduate sitting under this tent today is a first. Some of us are first generation, the first in our families to go to college or even receive a graduate degree. Our graduating class includes the first Black woman to graduate from the Department of Biomedical Engineering and Cognitive Science. We are a class that represents over 37 countries, earning degrees from 44 different programs and 34 different departments. Our peers wrote dissertations that prove the rehabilitation of the end of the Russian Empire by Putin machinery, and another that examined the effect of the migration on care engagement among persons with HIV in South Africa. I know this is a lot, but I mention all of this to emphasize that today, on our graduation day, we become a milestone, a historic moment, a significant part of Brown's history, a part of Brown's legacy. We are a part of the legacy of making a transformative impact on the world, retaining commitment to the belief that education and scholarly inquiry are vital to the advancement of society. And although we might take a much needed break after this, we are ready to go out into the world and prove that. So, as you embark on this new journey, I encourage you to take pride in all of your accomplishments and to never forget the challenges that you overcame to get here. You are the future leaders of your fields, and I can't wait to see what you achieve next. I encourage you to continue exploring, learning, and growing, and remember that the PhD is not the end of the journey, but rather a beginning, a foundation upon which you can build a lifetime of discovery and achievement. Congratulations, graduates, and best wishes for all that lies ahead. And here's to making history.